Welcome back to the fifth installment of the Wheatley News. I'm Kylie, and I'm really pumped to dive into this one this week. So, episode 5 of the Wheatley News is going to focus on House Bill 1258, which was introduced on the 26th of February. House Bill 1258, also known as the Tasting Room Bill, would essentially give cannabis industry, cannabis businesses, the ability to use their current license and get an endorsement on it that allows for the tasting room to be on premises. So, and that would then take effect, they're hoping by January 2019. So House Bill 1258 has a ton of political support, but it's also getting support from businesses that aren't necessarily directly related to the cannabis industry. One type of business is actually the vaporized devices that people would use to smoke flower, concentrates, different things like that. There's a lot of support from those because they're hoping to bank off of these tasting rooms being allowed and selling vaporizers to those specific cannabis dispensaries that have the tasting room as well. Another I kind of find this more humorous than anything, are food trucks. Food truck owners are really excited about the possibility of these tasting rooms because, let's face it, people are in there consuming cannabis, those munchies might start kicking in, a food truck's there, there's probably a pretty good chance that they're going to end up purchasing something. So there's a lot of opportunity for food trucks as well, which I think is really awesome. So looking aside from the support from the political side, different businesses, things like that, really the main goal for House Bill 1258 is essentially to focus on public safety, things like that, the consumption of cannabis in local places, and really help alleviate that, take away some of that time and energy that's being put into it by state and local law officials, and create these environments where people can go outside of their homes and go to more of a social environment and consume different products, which I think could be a really good opportunity for people like parents that maybe they don't want to consume at home with their children, just want to have a night out. That might be a great way for them to go to one of these tasting rooms, enjoy some cannabis in a very controlled, regulated environment, and not have that fear of being around their children at that point. So while I know some people may not agree with that, parents consuming cannabis, I think it is a great opportunity for them to feel in a comfortable environment with people that are also enjoying cannabis as well. So I think that's pretty cool. We'll continue to see how it develops. So to give you a breakdown if the bill is passed, so what would happen is these tasting rooms could be adjacent to essentially the dispensaries or elsewhere within the city depending on local zoning regulations and rules. But the thing with the tasting room is it has to be its separate entity, it has to have its own entrance and exit. So that'll be interesting how that works and how all the local zoning rules factor into that as well. The other thing too that's going to be really interesting is while in these tasting rooms you can only consume a certain amount of product or purchase a certain amount of product to consume there. So first thing is going to be more of your traditional form of I would say consumption would be flower. It does have to be consumed through a vaporizer due to the Colorado's Clean Indoor Air Act. So it would be specifically for vapor products. So you could have your vaporizers that have flower capabilities to be able to smoke those, and concentrates, and also edible consumption will be allowed in these tasting rooms as well. They're very limited, so flower is an eighth, so you could purchase up to an eighth of flower in these tasting rooms based on the legislation that's been written. A gram of concentrates, which if you're not someone that's been using cannabis for a while, a gram of concentrates is a ton. So that's kind of crazy that they have a gram. But hey, that's really the way to go if you're gonna purchase it. In my opinion, I like concentrates. Love flower too, but when you think about quantity, the gram would be better long term for you. And then single dosage of edibles, so a 10 milligram dosage, 10 milligrams THC dosage of edibles would be what you could consume there. So it'll be interesting to see if that gets adjusted at all in the legislation, but that is the breakdown currently of what you could purchase for consumption within those tasting rooms. And anything you don't consume, you can actually take with you as long as it's sealed properly in childproof bags, etc. So that will be all laid out when the bill is processed through, if it does get processed through. So while the bill is still under consideration, Colorado is it has a lot of economic leadership when it comes to the cannabis industry. And other states like California, Massachusetts, Nevada are thinking about passing this as well. So Colorado, there's a very good possibility that this bill will continue to get pushed forward because we want to continue to be the leaders in the cannabis industry, setting rules, regulations that work really well. And it's been a pretty decent breakdown as far as rules and regulations go in the state of Colorado. So what I'm hoping will continue to happen, and what I think may happen, is because Colorado is such a proponent of the regulatory rules and things with the cannabis industry really being in the forefront of the beginning of it all, I think it's a very good possibility that these tasting rooms can happen. But we'll see. Things can change in the snap of a finger, as always. So we'll keep you posted as this continues to develop. I think it's going to be a really interesting topic for us to really look out for this year. So we'll keep you informed as things progress. So that ends this episode of the Weedly News. Thanks for joining us again this week. We're going to move more to a bi-weekly schedule, so the next episode will air in within the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. We'll have more episodes too of the Soil Chronicles with Andy Wires, our head grower here at Choice Organics. But until then, feel free to like this video, subscribe below, share it. Definitely get this information out there. It's really important, especially in this industry, is to share this information. So thanks again for watching. Check out our other social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We do a lot of great stuff there too. Until then, have a wonderful Friday and have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.